Hi all, welcome to my channel. I'm Will Wyvern. Today I want to talk about what it means to be a pagan, or what is a pagan. Now, these are my thoughts, my beliefs, and what works for me. This has been my practice for over 30 years. I just share this with you so you can find out what works for you, what's going to be best for your practice. Now, first, the word pagan comes from the Latin word paganus, which literally means rustic. And what that meant was that was a term they gave to people who lived in the country, away from the city, who didn't believe in Christianity. This was back in the Romans did this when Christianity was large and flourishing. They called those people who lived on the countryside, away from the cities, the people who weren't intelligent, they weren't enlightened with the new Christianity religion, they were called pagans. It was a derogatory term, sort of like country bumpkin. You didn't know better, you weren't educated. And over the centuries, the term pagan pretty much got abused and changed to mean everything from devil worshiper to Satanist to criminal to just cannibalism. It got to be such a nasty term. And people, namely the Christians and other large religions, some say Judaism, Buddhists, Islam, all used the term pagan to refer to those people who didn't believe in their religion. And another term they used was heathen. So you could either be a pagan or a heathen, and it was pretty bad. It meant pretty bad. And over time, it lost some of its power, it lost some of its negativity. And recently, in the past 150 years, people have started to embrace the term. People are not happy with modern day religion. They don't like what modern day religion has become. So they're looking to the way their ancestors practiced, or they're looking to the ways before Christianity, before all this mass produce religion to where you've got to donate, give all your money. And it just, I don't want to get into it, but religion now is not the religion of a couple thousand years ago. And people are looking to reconnect with their primal selves, their basic selves. And that's what paganism is. Paganism is going back to your roots, going back to your ancestors, getting away from modern day religion to find what works for you. Some paganists have started a neo-paganism where they have brought back old gods and goddesses from the Celtic religion, from Norse, from Egyptian religion, and they're bringing those gods back to practices their ancestors did, a basic religion. Some pagans don't believe in a god or goddess at all. Some pagans just pretty much, I don't want to say the word worship, but they believe in nature. They believe everything is natural. They believe in the universe and the trees and the plants and the sun and the moon, all the natural universe. That's what they believe in. They don't believe in a god or goddess. Some people, they assume if you're a witch, you have to be a pagan. If you're a pagan, you have to be a witch. Nothing further from the truth, because there are Christian witches. There are Jewish witches. There are Islamic witches, Muslim witches. There are witches who believe in modern day gods and goddesses. There are witches who believe in ancient gods and goddesses. There are witches who don't believe in any god or goddess. They believe in the elemental powers, or again in nature. So just because you call yourself a witch doesn't mean you're a pagan, and just because you call yourself a pagan doesn't mean you're a witch. And again, there are pagan, just the main, I guess the main definition is you don't believe in Christianity. And that has blossomed to mean you don't believe in any modern day religion. So when I call myself a pagan, I also call myself a witch, but I also look towards the Celtic religions and the Norse religions because that's my heritage. I want to be connected to my ancestors. So I look towards those Celtic, you know, the Celtic history, or I look to the Norse history. And you can do that too. You can be a paganism, a pagan who goes back to your, if your ancestors are German, what did the ancient Germanic people worship? Or what were their gods and goddesses? The same with if you're Hispanic or from Central South America, what were their gods and goddesses? The Mayan, Aztec gods and goddesses. It's endless. You need to find what works for you. And I've said that before. Don't look to labels so much. I know people, they have their little mugs that say, I'm a proud pagan, and they put, pagan on their titles, and they don't really know what it means. So I just wanted to kind of make this video to explain what everybody looks at when they see pagan. There are people who see the word pagan and they think devil worshiper or Satanist. To them, in their minds, if you don't call yourself a Christian, then you have to worship the devil. It's black and white. You worship God, the Christian God, or you worship Satan, the devil. And if you worship the devil, then you're a pagan and you're a bad, nasty person. That's just how some people see it. So understand when you put pagan in your label, not everyone's going to see your definition of pagan as their definition of pagan. So just be aware of that. And you may have to explain it. And it's always good if you explain yourself because that educates other people. Now other people, they may shake their head and say, "Oh, no. You don't worship the Egyptian gods or the Celtic gods. You worship Satan. It's just another faith." And you can try to explain it. Don't get a headache. Don't get frustrated. Don't get angry. People are going to be people. And everyone has the right to believe what they want to believe. You can explain yourself, but if they don't understand or they don't want to believe your definition, I call myself a pagan because I do not believe in modern day religion. I have my own beliefs, my own interpretation of what the gods and goddesses are and what aspects of them I, use in my practice. And I don't want to say I worship these gods and goddesses, but I include them in my practice. I call on them when I'm doing magic or casting spells, or I need help, or I need guidance. And that to me is what a pagan is. Whatever it is to you, embrace it. Share your ideas with other people, share your beliefs with other people, but don't get into an argument. Don't say, you're wrong, you're right, I'm right, you're wrong. Don't do that because nobody's going to win. Call yourself a pagan, be proud, call yourself a witch, a warlock, a Celtic, whatever you want to call yourself. You have that right. You have the freedom to call yourself whatever. So that's what I just wanted to talk about real quick. What is a pagan, where the term comes from, and most importantly, other people are going to see it differently than you. So you may have to explain yourself. But again, don't get in an argument, don't get in a fight. Just explain what you believe, let other people believe what they want to believe, and then hopefully we can all live together. I know that's a big wish, I know that's big hope, but hopefully that's something we can do. So as always, if you have any comments or questions, if you want to tell me what you think a pagan is, if you want to say if I'm right, if I'm wrong, go ahead and vent. Go ahead and, share your beliefs with me, because that's how I get smarter. That's how my intelligence grows, my experiences, and I appreciate it. I really do when you share your opinions and your views with me. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. And as always, blessings to you and thank you.